More bad news for the Blade movie? What the heck's going on with this film? According to The Wrap, in an exclusive, Blade has now lost its director, Jan Domingue. And this is crazy because I just did a video being positive about the Blade movie a couple of days ago, and we get this crazy news from The Wrap. And so I want to go over the news in this video, but don't panic, guys. It's actually a lot of good news to talk about with Blade, and a lot of the thoughts that I had when I did my other video a couple of days ago still stand, but we must address this new situation, why people think this movie is cursed. Okay, so here's the article here. Marvel's Blade loses director Jan Domingue, exclusive. He's the second director to depart the project. His MCU veteran Eric Pearson now works on the screenplay. Now, in the article, they talk about how this is amicable, how they just both agreed it's best to part ways. They note in the article that Eric Pearson, who recently worked on the Fantastic Four, is currently working on the Blade script. Mahershalla Ali is still attached. And the big details in the back half of the article talk about how Blade is an important movie. They want to get the film right more than they want to get the film out, which is interesting. The pressure to produce as much content as possible has been lifted, and the studio is now looking to release just 2 films per year, which gives the team at Marvel Studios some breathing room. So that's pretty crazy, and a lot of people are like, dude, what? This movie is just cursed. But we got a little bit more of the details filled in from some other insiders. So Daniel RPK had mentioned that this actually happened months ago. Jeff Snyder backed that up, and Jeff Snyder actually went on to say that what was happening here was this director was just difficult to work with. This guy's really talented, but he was hard to work with, specifically difficult to work with Mahershala Ali. And one of the things that Snyder mentioned was that Mahershala Ali is still all in on this movie and on this project. And that is despite what a lot of people are saying online as far as like Mahershala is going to give it up. You're going to see the headline soon where Mahershala is walking away. But despite all of that noise, every insider, every reliable person, even the Hollywood trades are saying Mahershala Ali is still playing Blade. He is more committed than ever to the project. And that sort of begs a question. The question being, why? And I kind of read between the lines in what some of these guys are saying. And it seems like, to me, this is basically just the Mahershala Ali and Kevin Feige show now. And Michael Green is still a part of it. And I want to bring up this other thing that Daniel RPK recently said. And Daniel says here, just to make it clear on what I actually said, I said they are rewriting Blade again, but I didn't say that they got rid of Michael Green. I said Midnight Sons will follow Blade, but not that they're going to film both of them back to back. And so let's put all of this stuff together and let's speculate on what's actually happening here. Let me just say this right off the bat. What is not happening is the Blade movie falling apart. Now, the Blade movie has obviously been on a roller coaster ride of pre-production as they get ready to film this thing. But Daniel is saying that they're still going to film this year. That is still the plan. And he also mentioned that this director left months ago. So Marvel's actively been searching for a director for the Blade movie. Maybe that's even one of the films that they talked to Jordan Peele about, because we know they had meetings with Jordan Peele recently. And just like we talked about in the video a couple of days ago, there's an exclusive out there about Michael Green going to write the Midnight Sons movie. And so what you have is Michael Green coming in to do a draft that essentially took away the period piece stuff. It seems to have taken away the Lilith stuff and really just made it a modern day movie about Blade fighting a bunch of vampires. But there's likely connective tissue there to the Midnight Sons film, because even though they're not filming back to back, Daniel is still reporting that they're going to lead right into each other. Like Blade is the precursor, and it's going to lead right into the Midnight Sons. And I think, again, if Mahershala Ali is still riding with Kevin Feige and he still really wants to make this movie, it's likely the case that he's been given more creative control. That's why we're seeing this director leave, likely. And I think another part of that deal is to make Blade one of the main characters in the Midnight Sons film. And I even think he might be made the lead of that movie. He might be the guy, the leader of the Midnight Sons. And it is kind of weird how bad things are going for the movie. I totally understand that. But it's also strange to me that the people like The Wrap and maybe even Daniel a little bit are seemingly dancing on the grave of this movie, bringing all this stuff up, right? So like the idea that this director left the project, that's really meant to sort of make people think, oh my God, this thing is falling apart. But this again happened months ago. And there were people talking about how Michael Green was taken off the project. I believe Daniel was implying that he was fired from the movie. And then Nexus Point News comes out and says that no, he's actually writing on Midnight Sons. And so you can see that a lot of people are viewing the production of Blade as like really bad and really awful. And I think that messaging is permeating into the fan base because a lot of fans just think this movie will never come out. Like, one of my favorite things about what's happening currently are all the memes with older Mahershalla Ali, because in True Detective, he plays 3 different versions of himself, like a super young version, middle-aged version, and then a very old version of himself. So people are taking like the old version of Mahershalla Ali and being like, this will be him on the red carpet for the Blade movie when it finally comes out. And yeah, it has been crazy. Like, it's been 5+ years. We still have no idea what the hell's actually going on. We're just getting little tidbits behind the scenes. Marvel Studios has not come forward to say anything about it, but it is apparently still going to film this year. And I expect we'll find out about the director really soon. And I hope it's somebody that people can get excited about. But at the same time, this movie is really just Mahershala Ali, Kevin Feige, and Blade. Like, it's just a Blade Marvel movie, which is probably what it should have been from the start. But of course, Marvel Studios has gone through something of an identity crisis over the last several years. So this seems almost like a return to form where basically Feige's just making all of these movies. At least that's what I hope is happening. So within the past couple of weeks, we've been told that they fired the writer and they are rewriting it from scratch. And that's not true, because that writer was not fired. He is writing Midnight Sons, which is going to be continuation of the Blade story. So a lot of the stuff that Michael Green did is likely still going to be in the script. And we just got told yesterday that the director was fired, but they separated amicably, and it's probably just the case that after years and years and years of the production and Mahershala Ali wanting more control, this director just parted ways. There's creative differences. This guy is apparently very difficult to work with, according to people like Jeff Snyder. The reality is the Blade movie is being simplified. It's being cut down to just Blade versus vampires. They have the story idea. They are bringing another writer on, not to completely rewrite the script, but to just punch it up. And it's the beginning of the supernatural side with like Midnight Sons and all that sort of stuff being explored. Mahershala Ali is still completely committed. He is going to be Blade in the MCU, likely for a long time to come. And I think Kevin Feige is just giving him more and more control, allowing him to be the guiding creative force of what Blade will now be. And look, I'm as disappointed as many of you are that they didn't just do this from the jump, that we didn't just get Blade cutting up a bunch of vampires. Seems like it's a really simple thing to do. But I also just have to be honest with you. A lot of the reports out there are a little misleading. There's a lot of negativity surrounding the project, and me just sitting back as objectively as I can, I'm actually excited about a lot of the things that are being said. I think this is good news, not bad news. So there you go, guys. Crazy updates about Blade. Seemingly negative, but maybe not as bad as people are making it out to believe. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.